food prices contribute to higher PPI. ISS laments deployment of army to farming areas in the Western Cape. With your news update, I'm Kensani Maranele. Higher food prices and a weaker exchange rate are some of the reasons attributed to the more than expected rise in South Africa's producer inflation. Producer price index rose to 5.2% year-on-year in October from 4.2% in September. The market was expecting a slight increase of 4.8%. Chief economist at the Efficient Group, Davy Roth, says this is an early indication of inflationary pressures on the economy next year.
Clearly, inflationary pressures are building up in the South African economy. We've already seen that the CPI or consumer inflation numbers have been going up, and I'm afraid with the new basket on the inflation data, it is quite likely that we can see inflation above 6% early next year. So this is an early indication of further increase in inflationary pressures in the economy, and it does not bode well for the rest of next year.
The Institute for Security Studies says the deployment of the army to farming areas in the Western Cape should be a last resort. This after Premier Helen Zille called on Defence Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula to deploy the army ahead of a looming strike by workers. The workers have warned of renewed protests on Tuesday if their 150 rand a day wage demand is not met. Unions in Agri-SA are currently meeting behind closed doors in Cape Town to discuss the wage impasse. ISS researcher Johan Berger.
The military, when they are deployed, should always be deployed in support of the police and not to replace the police. I would only deploy them when it's obvious that the police are unable to cope with the situation all on their own.
The PAC in the Western Cape says employing the youth could be a solution to wage disputes on farms. This as farm workers have threatened to embark on another strike if a wage demand of 150 rand per day is not met by Tuesday. PAC spokesperson Anwar Adams says seasonal work should be done by the youth.
So we can basically take the youth within the holiday period, take them off the streets, and we can they will gain work experience, and they will be on these farms for a period of picking, and you basically will get more employment or more production out of them than what you'll actually get out of someone that is trying to fight for a minimum wage of 150 per day. I mean, you're going to kill this economy straight out.
The ANC's OR Tambo region, which is the biggest in the Eastern Cape, says the verification of delegates will play an important role in which list of preferred candidates for the party's leadership will be approved by the Provincial Nomination Conference. The conference is being held at Fort Hare University in Alice, and ANC branches will nominate their preferred candidates for the party's elective congress in Mangaung next month. The OR Tambo region yesterday broke ranks with the provincial leadership by nominating Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe for the party's presidency. Regional Chairperson Thandekile Sabisa says delegates' credentials will be key in the nomination process.
From where we are sitting, that nomination conference is not going to be easy, more especially on the credentials. The credentials are going to be debated very strongly. And then this RGC has taken a decision that we need to discuss a credential. We need to clean this credential because from where we are sitting, our credentials of that conference are not genuine enough. They are flawed. This is what we observed as the RSC, and also the General Council has also agreed into that.